For years, the American public has been victimized by the so-called cinematic geniuses, telling us time and again to see inferior movies, leaving us bitter and lost with nowhere to turn. But no more! This travesty of justice cannot and will not continue, because we now have the Cinema Judge!
Hello and welcome to the Cinema Judge. We here at the Cinema Judge, we'd like to take you for moments to inform you, the jury, more about our show. First of all, clearly, we are not journalists. We haven't gone to any elite Ivy League school and paid thousands of dollars to have somebody else tell us what it takes to make a good movie. Nor have we traveled the world and spoken to the old wise men and asked about the deep, hidden meanings behind Hollywood's visions. We here at the Cinema Judge, we haven't done any of these things. But what we have done is watch a lot of movies. Some good, some not so good. And our goal here at the Cinema Judge is to have one thing: an enjoyable movie experience. Approaching the bench today, we have Jordan Peele's newest film, Us. Now, before we delve too much into this film, I'd like to say a few things. Because first of all, Jordan Peele has some serious guts. Can you imagine him going into the studio for the first time and saying, hey, I want to direct a film and write a film. But get this, it's a horror film. You know, just like in life, and in Hollywood especially, everything's in a box. You have to be this way, act that way, whatever it is, they have this image of you. So I would love to see their faces or their thoughts. Here this great actor comes in here they know him as this actor, he's funny, he's talented, that's what you give us. But suddenly he says, I want to be a director of a horror film and a writer. And then also out of nowhere, boom, he makes it happen. And he just doesn't deliver just a horror film, but a horror film with humor, social issues, and what have you. And it just explodes on all over the world. Amazing stuff. We know how difficult it is for actors to break free of their mold and be accepted by the studio, let alone the public. We've seen it many times. Some with great success, some not so lucky. The ones who got lucky, like Tom Hanks, George Clooney, Morgan Freeman, all from the small screen, they made huge successes on the big screen. Wildly successful. But then on the other hand, there's been others who have tried it, and it hasn't been so successful. Like David Caruso, Shelley Long, both fine actors, just not lucky. It's a crapshoot. But what makes Jordan Peele's leap so special is that everybody knows, if you're a comic, to be an actor, to cross over, to be a dramatic role or what have you, is virtually impossible. I mean, it can be done. It's been done before. Just ask Bill Murray and again Tom Hanks. But it's a struggle. The shadow of Caddyshack will always haunt Bill Murray, no matter what he does. It must be extremely frustrating for him. You would think the public would be far more understanding than the studios in accepting people crossing over. I get it. This guy's making you money. You don't want to risk it, because if you anger one side and it doesn't be successful, there you go. You're out of dough. I get it. Selfish, but I get it. But the people, you would think us, the public, would understand. Because, hey, just say if you're a busboy for your first job, you would expect every job you do after that to still have to clean tables. It doesn't make sense. But yet, we expect the same thing from them. Well, you better just do that forever. I don't see it. It's not realistic. But neither here nor there. Here Jordan Peele is, his second movie, and what really amazes me about him is he could have stayed the course, done the same old story, stuck with what everybody likes, but no, he challenged his base. He went further. And that's not easy. That takes serious courage. That's on the verge of being fearless. And there's a few fearless directors out there, like Eastwood. You'd expect him just to play his same old role, time after time. But every time he directs, they're dark, they're deep, they're haunting, They go against what some people want him to be, and then he goes back again. It's really funny to watch him upset both sides of whatever aisle you're speaking to. In Jordan Peele, in this film, he's not about blaming outside. It's about more blaming inside. It's all about you, not the world around you. He explains it far more intelligently than I possibly could, and you'll hear about that shortly. So why don't we just get to it now? Here is the trailer for Us.
To take the dunk out of the bag.
That's a classic right there.
Messing with that ain't no weed.
What does I got 5 on it mean?
It's about drugs.
It's not about drugs. It's a dope song. Don't do drugs.
Get in rhythm. There you go. There you go.
Creep on in, on in, on in.
Can't believe how big they've got.
Did you hear Gabe got a boat?
He's kidding, right?
He's not kidding.
Hey, I think it's vodka o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
Where's Jason?
Jason?
Where were you? I didn't know if you were lost. Stick with me, and I'll keep you safe.
There's a family in our driveway.
It's probably the neighbors. But y'all scared of a family? Hi, can I help you?
Zora, put your shoes on.
If you want to get crazy, we can get crazy. What are you people?
It's us.
They look exactly like us. They think like us. They know where we are. We need to move and keep moving. They won't stop until they kill us. Or we kill them. Be careful.
Okay, welcome back. That was a trailer from Us. And now we're going to take you deep inside the movie Us. Here you go. A look at Us.
So someone outside?
Probably the neighbors.
Put your shoes on.
Can I help you?
This was an intense and all-consuming film to be a part of. Jordan has this way of creating terrifying moments.
What are you people?
It's us.
It was very scary for me to play both the hero and the villain and to pursue both of their objectives.
Stick with me, and I'll keep you safe.
Jordan was so awesome because there's just no limit to how weird you can get, how crazy. You see how incredibly entertaining it is what he does, and brutally scary. Jordan Peele movies are so different. You can never tell what's about to happen, and that's what I'm always wanting in a horror movie.
You're just joining a really creative, brilliant mind who trusts you to help augment the world that he's created.
Jordan is making his favorite movie all the time. So that passion, that kind of enthusiasm is infectious. I would work with him again and again and again.
All right, welcome back. Now that we know a little bit more about how they feel about the director, let's hear a little bit more about what the director and other people have to say about the whole concept, the plot of Us.
They look exactly like us. They think like us. They won't stop until they kill us.
Action.
The idea for this movie came from a deep-seated fear in doppelgangers. I love the doppelganger mythologies and different movies that have dealt with them. Hitchcock, of course, with Vertigo, which in its essence is a doppelganger tale as well. And I just desperately wanted to make my offering to that pantheon of evil double films. Run! Doppelgangers have always been a source of fear for people. There's something just primal and unnatural feeling about seeing yourself. It's almost like one of you has to go.
There's a family in our driveway.
Throughout mythology, doppelgangers often represent bad omens or a foreshadowing of one's death. So I just wanted to sort of pinpoint and work off of that just extremely primal fear.
Buckle up.
What are you people?
It's us.
I don't know about you guys, but I love it when a director talks about his film, what he was feeling, what he was thinking. Here's a little bit more at Jordan Peele about his movie, Us.
What really brought this idea together for me was this idea that we are our own worst enemy, which is something I feel like we know intrinsically, but it is a truth that we tend to bury. We tend to blame the outsider and blame the other, when in this movie, the monster has our faces.
There's a family in our driveway.
It's probably the neighbors.
There's something just primal and unnatural feeling about seeing yourself. I think it is connected to this idea that in that one moment when you would have an encounter like that, you get a sense of your own mortality. One of you has to go.
They won't stop until they kill us. Or we kill them.
No one really wants to look at their faults, their guilt, their demons. We all want to look elsewhere.
Addie, don't do it. Maybe I should cut something off of you.
The scissors are an iconic piece of horror imagery that has been used in other films, but I felt like I wanted to sort of honor that weapon in the best way I could with this film and make it the sort of central image.
No!
There's a duality to scissors, both literally and physically. You know, they're a whole made up of two parts, but also they lie in this territory between the mundane and the absolutely terrifying.
Run!
I have a definite world of things that I'm exploring and trying to say with this film, all relating to our duality as human beings and the guilt and sins that we bury deep within ourselves.
It's our time now.
This might be a little redundant. You heard a snippet of this earlier in the show, but it's the complete take of his talking about the movie and things in it. Here's a little bit more from Jordan Peele.
The idea for this movie came from a deep-seated fear in doppelgangers. And I love the doppelganger mythologies and different movies that have dealt with them. And I just desperately wanted to make my offering to that sort of pantheon of evil double films. I think what really made it come together for me, that brought this idea together for me, was this idea that we are our own worst enemy, which is something I feel like we know intrinsically, but it is a truth that we tend to bury. We tend to blame the outsider and blame the other. When in this movie, the monster has our faces.
Jordan Peele knows what he wants and he knows how to get it. Here are a producer and some actors talking about what they like about working with Jordan Peele.
Jordan as a director is, to me, the best kind. He is in complete control of his story, but also open and collaborative to all the, the artists that come together to make a film, which are many, many, many. So, his style is very kind of calm and in control of exactly what he wants, but allowing others to throw in ideas.
Jordan Peele is one of the best communicators I have ever met. He walks everyone through what's going on. I had extensive conversations with him before shooting, and he was always very, very open and just communicative about what he was looking for, very specific, but at the same time, compassionate and calm. I mean, Jordan is a calm director. And to see that, and then to have to visit the madness of his mind at the same time, which is anything but calm, you know, is just astounding.
Jordan's very communicative. He knows the world that he's created. He knows the circumstance and the scenarios that he's created. So you can trust all the things that are coming out of his mouth because he has a clear idea of what he wants. He has a clear vision, and he has a clear idea of his aesthetic. So you're just joining a really creative, brilliant mind who trusts you to help augment the world that he's created as well. So it's really beautiful.
When Jordan Peele was asked about Lupita's performance, this is what he had to say.
When Lupita throws herself into the emotion like no one I've ever really worked with, she's so committed, so thorough in how she prepares for a role, and with this opportunity to play two roles, she really rose to the challenge, and it was crazy. Adelaide, the protagonist, the matriarch, I think is a character that really centers the audience and gives us an emotional connection with someone throughout this movie. When Lupita was playing Red, something entirely different happened. She would walk into the room and you could just feel it sort of ice over. She has this amazing anticipatory presence in that character. And you just know within moments of meeting her that she holds all the cards.
When Lupita was asked about her co-star Winston, this is what she had to say about him.
Winston and I have known each other since graduate school. We went to school together. And so we've had a friendship, a relationship since then, and we're very close. It's like, you know, we're extremely, extremely close. We bicker like siblings, you know, or like an old couple. And so there was that comfort, knowing that he's someone that I trust personally and also someone's artistry that I really admire and respect. Of course, we'd had this short stint together in this little film called Black Panther as well. But this was the first time that we really got to work together and to be scene partners. And it was full trust.
You could just feel the trust, the knowledge, the comfort that these two share in this scene from us.
You know how sometimes things line up?
Yeah.
You know, like coincidences. Since we've been here, they've been happening more and more. I feel like it means like she's getting closer.
Who? The mirror girl?
You don't believe me?
I do. I do. I'm processing, okay? Just can't believe you kept all this inside for so long. You know I'm here, right?
When Jordan Peele was asked about the performance from Winston Duke, this is what he had to say about this phenomenal actor.
Winston Duke plays Gabe Wilson, Adelaide's husband. He's a very fun, charismatic character. He, you know, on first look, he is a sort of patriotic patriarch who is kind of a goofy dad, but one that has a certain enthusiasm and spontaneity that sort of makes him the spirit of the family. But he doesn't think too far before he acts, and that's been a little bit of a strain in his relationship with Adelaide. And then he plays Abraham, who is Gabe's tethered. Abraham is a terrifying presence. He's big, he's hulking, and he is sort of single-minded, a very psychopathic and character, and completely devoted to Red's cause.
I love hearing what actors have to say when they first read the script to the movie they're in. And this is Winston Duke explaining how he felt when he first read the script for Us.
Oh, man. First time I read the script, I sat for about 40 minutes, just thinking about what I just got and being blown away with all the things that its tentacles were reaching out and touching, right? Because I feel like the film has these tentacles that are touching this thing in society, that theme, that construct, this construct, you know what I mean? Like this ism, that ism, you know? And I wanted to be a part of the conversation. I said, this is the kind of conversation that I need to be a part of as an artist at this time, you know? For the time that Winston is a part of this media, you know, and this age, I want to be a part of this.
Okay, here's the truth. I confess, I have a horrible time trying to pronounce some names. So, this will probably be wrong, but I'm going to give this a shot. Here's the producer of this film, Sean McTrickett. Something like that. Anyway, this is what he has to say about the film Us. Again, I apologize. Producer Sean, this is what he has to say.
It's more about what we've become as a country, and kind of a karmic retribution of how we're treating each other, all centered around how a family deals with being attacked by themselves.
Like I told you before, I'm going to tell you again. I'm horrible at pronouncing some names. So, here is Lupita talking about the story, the plot, and all that good stuff. So again, I apologize in advance, and this will happen again in the future. So, I'm sorry.
At the core of it, I think it's about this duality of self, you know, that in Adelaide, there is a mother, but there's also a monster, you know, that we discover. And do we have to choose between one or the other, or are we both? Are we capable of being both a thing and its opposite? And what happens when we choose to reject that thing, and what happens when we embrace it?
I love hearing what actors have to say about the roles and what it means to them and the deep meanings behind it. So when they get on set, what it takes for them to get to that spot. So anyway, that all being said, here is a scene with her and Winston in the movie Us.
Okay, let's call the cops.
I did. They're 14 minutes away.
What? 14 minutes? Okay. Jason, give me the bat.
What bat?
The baseball bat, the bat. There's one in the corner.
Here.
Thank you.
Gabe.
All right, hold on. I got this. Let's try this again.
Gabe.
No. All right.
Gabe!
I got this. Now, I thought I already done told y'all to get off my property, okay? So if y'all want to get crazy, we can get crazy. Now, the cops are already on their way. Hey!
Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you've heard the evidence. Now it's up to you to file the final verdict for us. Okay, listen, put this out there. I'm new at this, so this is very rusty. I hope in the future I'll get better at this. So, again, this will get better. So, some episodes will have more scenes, more interviews, more in-depth stuff. If I don't get good stuff, I can't give too much good stuff. So, I'll try not to ramble too much, because I realize what you really truly care about is the movie, not what I have to say. I'm just providing evidence for you to make a good judgment. So, you guys listen to it, and then the verdict is whatever you say. I'm not here to make a judgment. I'm just here to say, here's the evidence. Make your call. Anyway, until next time, thank you very much for tuning into The Cinema Judge.